FPUC retro not happening, but you can get UI escalated benefits retro. FPUC will be extended under the third stimulus package at $400 a week from March to August. And UI, PUA, and PUC will be extended as well. How do you get PUA? How do you get UI? What is PUC? And what is raising your benefits retro involve? Enjoy this throwback overnight LATE video. Great news as FPUC is coming back. If only I could say the same thing about Nancy Pelosi's hairstyle. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is LALATE. Hope you're good and safe. Hope your tips are good and your weave is holding up. This is afternoon's LALATE, our 2-hour programming block that starts with a check, then goes to weaves, then goes to braids, and then ends with jerry curls. Here we go. This is our 2-hour programming block that starts with a check, then goes to FPUC, then something, then FPUC, and then rent. Boy, it has been some day with bugs flying in my face and bugs trying to eat me up alive. Sort of like, you know, what the Temple of Doom does every time they have brunch. Letting you get to the incredible details about FPUC 2.0, its return, the return of FPUC, the extension of PUA, all the wonderful stuff about UI, and a little personal message about the summer reporting out there about LWA. First, LWA has been extended. This is incredible, great news. LWA, Lost Wage Assistance, which was established under the executive order of the president no less than maybe 3 weeks ago to provide you benefits because FPUC had expired in late July, is really just getting better and better by the minute. FEMA now reports that some states are going to be paid 5 weeks of benefits, which is absolutely incredible. FEMA, which really initially said 2 weeks, then 3 weeks, then 4 weeks, some states are now paying 5 weeks. Those states are Texas, and some reports are in Arizona as well. Other states will be paying 4 weeks. Many of the states have said they were pay 3 weeks. Viewers now think that they may be getting 4 weeks as well. The situation is really changing by the minute, with about somewhere around 30 states now approved. Other states that have been approved but have not paid out money will be. Just have patience, it's coming. It's $300 a week unless you're in the respective states of Kentucky, Montana, West Virginia, Kansas, and Vermont. I don't know how I always remember that by heart. Those are the states that are throwing $100 on top of it, so congratulations, you'll get $400 a week. The payments are retroactive in all cases. They are retroactive to the last week in which FPUC 1.0 expired. So viewers who are waiting around, you know, several weeks now since late July, they're getting big lump sums in their account of all these weeks. Congratulations. Now understand, this is on top of your UI and PUA benefits, so you have to be eligible for UI or PUA. You have to be in the system and certified for benefits. Once you are, you don't have to do anything else. If you have questions about this, questions about how does my this and how does my that, tune in to my final video every day today, the one that that's called LALATE Evenings, with a thumbnail of the fisherman in the picture. I will be answering questions from yesterday's video about PUA and UI in that video tonight. But here is the big news. FPUC is making a return. Yes. Not the Temple Dunes hairstyle, but FPUC. Oh boy, so excited. It will be debuted next week in a Republican new bill. As I've been detailing for, a couple days, this is not the skinny bill. This is not the HEALS Act. This is not the HEROES Act. This is a brand new bill. And we don't know the amount. We don't know the details. All we know is a conjecture of what likely it will be. It likely will be $400 per week. It likely will be retroactive to the end of July. It likely will be continuing all the way to December 31st. So this is incredible, great news. What's incredible great news is that this will be relief at a time in which viewers really need it right now. $400. It will go on top of LWA. LWA, the difference between LWA payouts and FPUC will be paid to you. You don't repay FPUC. And it would land in your account probably within about a week after it becomes law, but some states are slower on processing. So this is incredibly great news. If you have any confusion about how these things will calculate or things like that, watch that video later today, which I really answer your questions. Now, with that comes a whole other twist. And what is that twist? Well, the twist is actually twofold. The first twist is the support. The bill will be introduced next week by Democrats and Republicans in the Senate, who have called for an extension of enhanced unemployment benefits at a time in which their Senate seat is up for re-election. The bill will ultimately be introduced and written by Mitch McConnell, a Republican, in the Senate, and be supported by Republicans, but it's highly likely that Democrats who are up for re-election will cross party lines to support the bill. At that point, the bill will go over to the House, and it's the same thing is going to happen. There are House members who are up for re-election, and you can't, sit in late September and say, I'm not going to give enhanced unemployment benefits to citizens in my state because the Temple of Doom told me not to. Guess what? She's not up for re-election. You are. And so that's why stimulus for seats is such an important hashtag to be trending online and tweeting up, that you need to ensure that these senators and House representatives understand they don't get your stimulus out, they're not going to get your vote for their seat in Congress. It's as simple as that. Every week that passes that the Temple of Doom does not want to give you enhanced unemployment benefits because she wants to wait for bailouts for state and local, cost you a lot of money. Under her calculations, extended unemployment benefits would be $600 a week. I don't think that's ever going to happen. It'll be more like $400 a week. But you know how many weeks we've been waiting for $400 a week to be paid to us? Late July to late August was the first month. Now we're in September. Are we supposed to go 2 months, 8 weeks at $400 a week? 8 times 4, $3,200 in 2 months. We're supposed to forego $3,200 while she does a bailout of Gavin and Andrew? It's one of the most shocking, scandalous elements of this fall election is the inability for certain Democrats, especially her, to understand that people cannot forego $3,200 in their life every 6 or 7 weeks because you want to do a bailout of states. You're going to a fall election, you're up for re-election, you're in the Senate, you're in the House, you're a Republican, you're a Democrat, and you're saying, that there's $3,200 you're supposed to have, and you're laid off, you don't work, you don't have a job, you have nothing to pay the rent, you have nothing to pay the utilities, you would have gotten $3,200, but just vote for me. Vote for me. I'm here for you. I don't know how anyone says it with a straight face. If you don't recall, because I certainly do, back in, July? Many elected officials said, hey, we can't end this current session of Congress without extended benefits being issued, because we can't go back to our jurisdictions and ask for people to reelect us when they haven't given them enhanced unemployment benefits. Unemployment is an issue in every state and every city across the country, and the fact that elected officials have not gotten it done is really going to eat them up alive. Of all the things I've detailed on this channel the most extensively has been 2 things. One, congressional Democrats in both the House and Senate writing the Temple of Doom saying, hey, you got to do this as a standalone bill right now. You can't keep on delaying that. That letter was 3 weeks ago. $1,200, 3 times $400, $1,200 has passed that you have not gotten because of those antics. Second, enhance unemployment benefits, unemployment numbers, unemployment problems, labor problems has been front page news on nearly every local, national, and international channel almost every single day for months. This is the story that every broadcaster understands, even if they hire, news reporters that, have chicken fried steak for brains. It's just, they understand this story. And yet, it hasn't gotten done. But then there's this. In preparing for today's story, this is my personal message, I was really shocked that all the comments and all the angles of the news reports out today that talked about PUA and talked about enhanced unemployment benefits were so horribly negative. The first report said that of 6 states, Alabama, Arizona, Florida, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Texas, their unemployment benefits are not sufficient. They don't cut it. You're not going to make rent. They're just bad. They're below the country's 7.25 minimum wage. In July, nearly half of states paid an average unemployment benefit of less than the federal minimum wage. Millions of workers are no longer receiving benefits, and $300 is not sufficient. Wholly inadequate. Peter Jong, an economist and professor at the University of Chicago, says regular unemployment benefits in the United States are woefully inadequate in states. Well, we know that. That's why it's called enhanced unemployment benefits that we need. We need enhanced unemployment benefits to go on top of the woefully insufficient employment benefits. 21 states, including Alabama, do not set a higher minimum wage according to the Labor Department. For example, Arizona is at $12 an hour, but the state employment system pays the equivalent of $6 an hour. Got it. I mean, we all understand it, but that's... why are news reporters focusing on that? We all understand that base level benefits of states are wholly inadequate. California's $167 per week. I mean, what the hell is $167 a week? It's barely even, 2 Starbucks coffees. It's just, what is $167? It doesn't even get you a nice blowout at a San Francisco salon. What is $167? It doesn't even get you, 2 tickets for Chuck Schumer on Broadway. It's just, what is $167? It's nothing. So that's why you need enhanced unemployment benefits. That's why you need $400, $500, $600 a week on top of it. And if Democrats had spent their time negotiating for $600, which they probably would have gotten had they done a standalone bill, instead of playing a game for state and local, now Americans may be ending up with $400 a week, which, I was not predicting that as the number likely to come out of FPUC nearly 5 weeks ago. I was reporting it was 400 to 600, with 400 on the low end. But because Democrats really could not extract themselves from the tunnel of doom and realize, hey, we need a standalone bill for FPUC right now, Americans may be left with 400. That was not the only report. Another report says nearly half of American people collecting unemployment benefits may not qualify for aid in 2021. Okay, why are we talking about 2021 now? Let's just deal with today. We're talking about people who can't make rent today. We're talking about people who haven't gotten unemployment benefits this week. How about last week? So here's another report published from a national news site. I'm not going to say which one. I don't want to be that shady. But PUA under the CARES Act is expected to expire at the end of March. Okay, do we need to be talking about December 31st now? We need to be talking about what's going on right now. The share of workers getting PUA clearly points to the gap of regular state programs that ignore workers and the number of low wages. It shows we can devise and access a program for low wages. I got that. But that's December. It's just, okay. And so you see why the problem has really erupted. Because there's been a really lack of bad focus. And what I've tried to do in a positive way and a supportive way is keep you focused. Keep you focused that what's going to happen next week is going to be the relief that people should have seen weeks and months ago. Just remember that these congressional leaders took a vacation right when FPUC was expiring. They did not write the original CARES Act to provide that FPUC would extend all the way into what? August 1st, when they're back in session in the Congress, so that they could ratify an extension of it. No. They established it to expire while they're on recess from Congress, while they're on vacation, at their nice homes, getting their hair done. It's truly reprehensible. The first part about that was reprehensible was the expiration date. The second part of reprehensibleness of that was the inability from congressional leaders to see the severity of the situation, and they're all very much to blame. We cannot forget that Mitch McConnell and Republicans initially were a hot mess express on unemployment benefits. When this channel started to pick up speed, I was slamming Mitch McConnell on a daily basis because he said, I don't know if I should give you unemployment benefits because I haven't seen the economic data yet. Excuse me? At that point, we're at 18 consecutive weeks of unemployment claims at over 1 million per week, the worst since the Great Depression. So I was like, what are you talking about, Mitch? That was then. Then Mitch wanted to float in a $200 a week extended FPUC number under the HEALS Act. The president would not co-sign it. The president hated it. And immediately Steve Mnuchin was offering $400 a week. But that was then. We were only about a week out of the expiration of FPUC where Mnuchin was offering $400 a week. Had that been accepted as a standalone bill, we would have all gotten benefits with only really about a week lapse in time. It would have been retroactive, so you wouldn't miss money, but you would have not received money for a week while you're waiting for the back pay to come in. But guess who didn't accept that offer? And weeks went on, and she said, don't come back to me unless you have more money for state and local. How about more money for stimulus checks? How about more money for FPUC? How about more money for us? And weeks kept on going on, and people became homeless, and people kept on becoming unemployed. And every week, the unemployment number continued to get worse until this week, which I got to explain is certainly a very confusing number. The unemployment claims for this week announced this morning, detail on morning's LALATE, dropped to about 800,000, the best improvement since the great hit from this pandemic in March. But the number is not apples to apples because it's based upon other seasonality things, and it's just, why did they have to do that? To make it difficult on me. But the good news is you're going to get FPUC. The good news is everyone wants to give you FPUC. The good news is that you're concerned and you're focused and you're going to continue to tweet seats for stimulus or stimulus for seats, because ultimately that's what's going to keep the focus on getting FPUC in your pocket. 2.0. Do the following if you so may wish. Subscribe to this channel and hit the alert button. If you're commenting on this channel and you have a and you don't have a little red thing next to you, then you're not subscribed or you haven't publicly subscribed. But sure, you publicly subscribe. So other viewers understand that you publicly subscribe. I typically respond more to people who publicly subscribe than people who are not subscribers, because if they're not subscribers, they're not members of this family, of this community. I know that you're subscribed because there's a red thing next to your name, and if you don't know how to do that, go into the pinned comment of this video by me, and I'll give you a link to YouTube where you learn how to get a red thing next to you. So when I see a comment from you, I understand you're a subscriber, and so then I understand where you are and who you are and all that wonderful stuff. Also, like this video. It helps this video to appear higher in the rankings, and I understand that there's a lot of videos coming out from this channel on a daily basis, 7 or 8 videos, and there's a lot to watch. But this one especially is very helpful for FPUC, PUI, UI, and all those wonderful things about unemployment issues, whether it's PUA or PEUC or extended enhanced benefits. I'm covering all these different aspects on a daily basis, so it's important to like the video so it appears higher in rankings so other people who need similar questions answered find this video and find this channel. Coming up next is rent. Tune in for that. We'll have a big blockbuster about why that rent eviction moratorium may be more complicated than people thought originally. Boy, as always, stay informed, stay smiling, and stay of LA for more.